The highly anticipated case of Everton Beachy Stout McDonald has taken a new twist after the media was barred from entering the court proceeding yesterday when the matter was made mention. Hi again and welcome. This is Linkstab 7 TV. Let's talk, and we're about to discuss this on the program. If it's the first time you're watching, please remember just to like, share, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell, and click on all so you're always updated with the latest report. We'll be right back after the break with the details. Welcome back and thanks for joining us for the program. This is Linkstab 7 TV. Let's talk. This has been a high profile case and a massive investigation launched by the Portland Police along with personnel from Kingston Police Departments after the arrest of a popular Portland businessman, Everton Beachy Stout McDonald. Now, Everton Beachy Stout McDonald is a well-known businessman in the Portland area, and he has so far been arrested and charged with the taking out of not one but two of his wives. The most recent one would have been Tonya McDonald, who was found burnt beyond recognition in an area of Portland after it is believed Beachy Stout McDonald paid a hitman $2 million for the demise of this wife. Now, as the police are carrying out their investigation, they have so far ascertained that Beachy Stout might be responsible for the death of his first wife, and this has triggered another investigation launched by the Major Investigation Task Force, among other police personnel that are carrying out an intensive investigation in order to ascertain what were the real motives behind the killing of both wives. Now, one of the murder suspects that are involved in the actual taking out of the second wife have actually gave a confession statement to the police detailing everything that transpired leading up to the death of the first wife and also the second wife. So the police have some real concrete evidence that they're working with, and they have so far charged Mr. Beachy Stout McDonald with the murder of his first wife. Now, as news spread of the death of the first wife and also the second wife, this sent shockwave throughout the entire Portland community. And the community right now where Beachy Stout McDonald would have hailed from is actually in total disbelief based on the new development that came out of this case recently when it was announced that Beachy Stout McDonald would be charged with the death of his second wife. Now, I'm about to update you with the latest that we have in relation to the case and what the police believe they are working with in relation to the upcoming trial of the Portland businessman. So members of the media were this afternoon asked to withdraw from the Everton Beachy Stout McDonald court hearing because of fear expressed by the prosecution that sensitive information in the murder case would be made public. So as you know, this was a case that is very sensitive right now based on the development that came out of it recently with the businessman himself being charged for not one but two wives' murder. Now, the police do not want the public to have certain sensitive information as this is an ongoing proceeding, and the police believe as if this will hamper the prosecution evidence when it is tendered in court. So in the court matter which took place at the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston, the defense was to respond to the new evidence offered by the prosecution. But when the matter was called, the prosecution explained that the matter was extremely sensitive and asked Justice Vinette Allen Graham, who presided over the matter, to ask the media to withdraw from the courthouse. This was as a result of the prosecution believing that the material was in the best interest of justice and should not be disclosed to the general public. They say that they believe that the submission of this new evidence would shed more light on the proceeding and actually the actual cause of what transpired to the new wife in question and also what transpired to the death of the first wife. So these information should not be made public just yet. The defense in supporting this move said that they agree with it as it does no good for the potential jurors who are expected to be in court very soon. It is expected that following today's submission by the prosecution and the responses by the defense on the new evidence, the judge will decide whether or not to grant Beachy Stout McDonald any bail. However, the judge cautioned that a ruling may not take place today due to the length of the submission and the time available. The 67-year-old was charged last month with the murder of his first wife, Marlene McDonald, who was shot at her home on May 2, 2009. Investigators reopened the case last year after McDonald was arrested and charged for the murder of his second wife, Miss Tonya McDonald. The popular Portland businessman is accused of orchestrating the murder of his wife, Miss Tonya McDonald, whose partially burnt body was found with her throat slashed and slumped over beside her burnt car along Sherwood Forest Main Road in Portland on July 20 of last year. McDonald and his co-accused, Oscar Barnes, were taken into custody on August 5, 2020, during a series of coordinated operations by the Major Investigation Task Force. Denver Lid Minor, who was also arrested and charged in connection with the killing, pleaded guilty in the Home Circuit Court last September and was sentenced to 19 years in prison. Mr. Beachy Stout obtained his innocence and is so far still trying to prove that he had nothing to do with the death of Miss Tonya McDonald. In the first murder case involving Mr. Beachy Stout McDonald, the police has deemed that as a cold case. However, the investigation were reopened on the death of his second wife. So Mr. McDonald is charged in relation to the killing of Miss Marlene McDonald, who was shot outside her home in Brown Brook, Portland in May 2009. The allegations are that he paid a police detective to kill her after their marriage crumbled and she left the marital home. Now, with the development that came out of this recently, and there have been many speculation and allegations going on online in relation to the whole entire matter. However, we have obtained some information that Miss Tonya McDonald was actually the reason why Miss Marlene McDonald would have been killed in this instant, as Mr. Beachy Stout would have been dating Miss Tonya McDonald secretly when his wife, Miss Marlene McDonald, found out about the whole entire situation and decided that the marriage was over. Now, Mr. Beachy Stout did not take that lightly and so far ordered the hit on his second wife, allegedly. So these are just all allegations going on out there, but the police have so far ascertained the real reason behind this latest crime that is committed in Portland, and they have a confession statement that they're working with, and that individual have so far been sentenced to 19 years after he confessed to the killing of the second wife, Miss Tonya McDonald. But when you look on the age gap between the two, Miss Tonya McDonald was just a young female, still young, still in her prime of her life, and this man could have been her father, actually engaged in a relationship with her. Now, what led to the death of this female still puzzles many, but there have been many speculations going on online in relation to the female not being faithful to Mr. Beachy Stout, and Mr. Beachy Stout would have found out about many of her dealings with other individuals, and this might be a reason why she was taken out. But these are all allegations and nothing have been proven just yet. But as you know, this is a very high profile case, and we have been tracking this story from it broke last year with the death of Miss Tonya McDonald, and we'll try our very best to provide you with more information to come on this. So this is one of the case right now that is very sensitive and is just a high profile case right now, as the police believe at the time the first wife was taken out that Mr. Beachy Stout McDonald would have paid over $3 million for the death of Miss Hamilton McDonald, who was shot outside her home. Indications are that after the killing last year of his second wife, The 2009 case was revisited by the police, and following a submission file from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, a ruling was handed down for Mr. McDonald to be charged with conspiracy to murder of the second wife and also the first wife as well. So this is just the latest that we have in relation to this matter. We'll continue to just track this story, and even though the media was actually barred from entering the court proceedings, we'll try our very best to find out what was actually mentioned in the court proceedings and what new evidence the prosecution actually was able to gather to tender before the court. So we'll continue to track this and provide you with any more information to come. This has been Links 007 TV. Let's talk. Peace out and thanks for watching, and please subscribe to the channel so you're always updated with the latest report.